What up, y'all? It's your boy Trainer, and we're back with another vlog video for the road to 7 plates. So what we got here today is some shoulder work. Now, specifically what I want to work on today is more of some rotator cuff exercises. So you'll see me do a couple of compound lifts, but for the most part, I'm working today to really strengthen up my my rotator cuff. So basically, these muscles are often overlooked, and it's usually the reason why somebody ends up hurting themselves or injuring their shoulder, and also reasons why people tend to have a little bit of issues with the range of motion. So you can see here, I'm doing an external horizontal rotation with this movement. This is a really good movement for warm-ups. You can start light, but in general, you're gonna do this movement in any sort of throwing motion, which is actually putting your shoulder in a compromising position if it's not strong enough to really handle the forces that are at play. But with this movement, you can start to build up. It's gonna hit the rear delt. It's gonna hit the rotator cuff in the behind you in your back. So you have basically four muscles, without getting too much into them. 4 muscles that really support the rotator cuff, and that's definitely an important movement there. So here, this is more of like a delt raise, where I'm looking to flex my shoulders. But by actually doing this movement here, it's not only hitting my delt, but it's also hitting my rotator cuff, because I have my arm separated about 30-degree angle. And at that angle, you're really starting to use the muscles in your upper back here. So if you do this, making sure to really extend those arms straight out, you're gonna feel that in your upper back. So basically here, make sure that you keep your arms separated about 30 degrees. That's really the best angle. And whenever you're doing this, you don't need a crazy amount of weight. You actually, for any rotator cuff exercise, you shouldn't be trying to overdo it with the weight, because you want to condition those ligaments and muscles that support the shoulder. The shoulder is very unstable, so it's important that we condition it for the forces that you're going to apply with heavy weight. So that's why next we have here a combination exercise. Now this is a combination, it's called a Cuban press. It's a combination between external horizontal rotation and also overhead shoulder press. So without a lot of weight, what I'm able to do is keep that time under tension the whole time while I'm doing this exercise. So I'm feeling it all the way through the rotation. I'm hitting rear delts, I'm hitting anterior posterior delts. I'm also hitting the subscapularis. I'm hitting all the muscles in the back. So really don't underestimate this exercise. This is actually the first time I did it. I mean, I could do it with the full range of motion, because I've been dealing with shoulder issues for a while, ever since I played football. But my range of motion is definitely improving the more I've really focused on these rotator cuff exercises. Here, this is a really good exercise because, again, we have more external horizontal rotation. This is kind of similar to the movement that you would do with a cable, called a face pull. Now with face pulls, you can use a cable to pull about eye level, the resistance about eye level. Here, you're kind of getting that same movement, but you're actually adding horizontal external rotation again. And by using this bench, it's a really good, I've been using this bench a lot more recently to do more rows and minimize the help of momentum. So even though my body wants to use momentum, it's hard for me to benefit from it. So I really have to use all the force in my upper back to get this weight to the full range of motion. So I'm getting actually my elbows behind my hands. I'm really trying to work to the very full range of motion again. Here's like a reverse fly with cables. So you're gonna see a better angle, but basically I'm just trying to hit those rear delts really hard right here. And it's important that you're actually pulling those hands at least to like shoulder level, because you want to hit those rear delts. So coming out wide to about shoulder level, you should feel that burn. Boom. And then, yeah, so basically, I prefer to do this versus doing it with weights because I get to keep the tension the whole time with these cables. When I'm face down with some weights, at the bottom of the motion, it's like I'm having to generate a lot of force to get that weight up. So there's a point where I don't have any resistance on my muscles. So that's why I prefer with the cables. Here's just a single arm overhead press, compound exercise, really effective for generating strength. Now by using the kettlebell, I can do unilateral movements, meaning one side at a time. So I can find out if I have any imbalances. And actually my left arm definitely showed it was just a little bit weaker. But also by doing this unilateral movement, I'm also challenging my core because I'm offset. So in order to keep my balance, my core has to be engaged. So that's why I really like that movement. Here we have another rear delt exercise. This is a wide grip horizontal row. So the key with this is to keep those elbows up high and make sure that your arms are wide enough so that you're really squeezing at the rear delt. You may see different grip options whenever you're using this exercise and using this cable. That if you have your hands close and you're pulling your elbows more towards your hips, you're really targeting lats more. But by keeping those elbows elevated, you can really work to hit those rear delts, which is actually, for a lot of people, a very underdeveloped muscle. So on your deltoid, you have the posterior, which is the rear, you have the medial, middle, and then the anterior front of your delt. Usually people have the anterior and medial built up pretty well, and then you'll notice the delt in the back, it just looks flat. So if you want to fix that up, you got to really work on pulling exercises at the angle that's really going to target those delts, as seen in my video here. And to finish, this day I was hitting the rear delt, I was hitting my shoulders, but I also wanted to focus on a little bit of arms. So I'm just doing a finisher right here. It's kind of like a burnout where I'm working on internal rotation, underhand and overhand, and then external rotation with these curl movements. That way I can hit both sides of the bicep, inside, both heads of the bicep. So this is a really good combination exercise. You don't need a lot of weight. If you start doing this and you do enough sets, you're gonna feel that whole bicep, or enough reps, you're gonna see that whole bicep really light up, start burning and stuff. So really good exercise. Again, I appreciate y'all checking out my vlog. If y'all are interested in giving feedback or having any ideas for my future vlogs, feel free to write down in the comment section, leave me some notes. As always, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also join my website, become a member, and get additional perks. So y'all have an awesome day. I'll check you out on the next one, y'all. Peace.